What's up, ladies and gents, Bob here, and welcome back to Major Gaming. So I managed to get invited to the closed beta for The Crew, the new open world racing game from Ubisoft. If you haven't signed up already, go head over to their website and sign up there. They are inviting more people every day, so there's every chance you'll get in. But I really like the concept of The Crew, you know, the open world racer. But I kind of wish a different developer was tackling this, because as a PC player, I'm not too keen on Ubisoft. They seem to like to shaft PC players whenever they could get the chance. Watch Dogs, for example, I still haven't completed that game, and it's annoying because I mean I spent 40 quid on that game, and it doesn't look anywhere near as good as it should on my PC. But that's not saying it doesn't look good. It looks reasonable, but I've installed the worst mod on it, which unlocked the E3 graphical settings, which they sort of turned off, and it looks fantastic. But of course it still doesn't run very well. But anyway, this is a video about The Crew and not Watch Dogs. So I'm going to start with the bad points. Number one, it's capped at 30 frames a second. You can unlock this, you just have to go into your documents, The Crew, and then I think it's like PC scalability or something. Open that document, edit it, blah blah blah, change it to 60 and then save it, and it will run at 60 frames a second. I mean, it's obviously been capped at 30 for some reason to do with the beta maybe. So second on the list of bad things is the handling of the vehicles. It's extremely arcadey. I wouldn't suggest playing with a keyboard. My keyboard's really weird, whereas it doesn't let you press like two keys at the same time, so you can't go forward and right at the same time. But it works well with a pad. The pad I've got isn't an official Xbox pad. It's just it's called an airflow. It's got fans in the hand grips, which is pretty cool. You know, because the weather's absolutely boiling now, it's nice to have a nice breeze, stop your hand from getting sweaty. So yeah, it's definitely worth playing with a pad. Keyboard's a bit funky. So more about the handling, as we're talking about that at the moment. It's very twitchy. It's almost like a Twitch racer. You just have to tap the stick tiny, like literally minuscule amounts, and the back end just wags all over the place. You do get used to this after a while, and you do kind of learn how the cars handle. But still, I don't like the way the cars handle. I like them to feel as if they've got more traction on the actual road, rather than sort of floating on like a pocket of air underneath the car. It's almost like you're gliding, like air hockey. It's like air hockey. That's how these cars handle.
So what are we doing?
So I guess if anyone's really good at air hockey and watching this, you're gonna love this game. You'll be a pro at it straight from the start.
So why am I here?
Okay, so my final criticism of The Crew is probably, it's got to be the story. I don't think it's necessary, really. I mean, essentially the story is the exact same story that's run throughout the whole Need for Speed franchise, and I just find it boring. I mean, Need for Speed World does it okay, because it's just like log in, yeah, here's a car, go race, do your thing, and that's what this should do. I don't think there's any point in a story. But that being said, this is Ubisoft and they like their narratives, don't they? Okay, anyway, that's my whinge about The Crew. Now I'll talk about some of the things it does well. As you can see here, we've got our own car now. I went for the Ford Mustang. Oh yeah, one more point. The Ford Mustang is a rear-wheel drive car. On this game, for some weird reason, it's front-wheel drive. And I saw that and I was just like, what? Ubisoft must be drinking or smoking something crazy in their offices, because that's not right. But yeah, loads of customization. You can change bumpers, wheels, spoilers, your interior parts. You can see right now you can add flags. You can get really patriotic with your car. Everything costs in-game cash, which you earn over a certain amount of time. Obviously doing races and all of that. You can customize your interior, which I thought was a nice little touch. You know, I always like to have a nice interior to my car. And, you know, it's kind of necessary with the, because you can actually race from inside the car, although it's really weird racing inside the car, because they've added all these, like, camera movements to kind of immerse you, I guess. Like when you accelerate, when you NOS, hit the guy's head will lean back, and yeah, it's quite weird to actually try and race in that view. But it does look cool. You can look back, you can see all your nice leather interior and all of that. So here's a few of the customizations you can do to the bumper. Personally, I want one debadged because everyone knows that a debadged car is faster and much better than just a car with a badge on. So yeah, here's the rear bumpers. A few of the options you can't access right now because it is a beta, so hopefully a couple of weeks down the road, if they get to an open beta, we'll see some more customization. So yeah, there you are. All your fenders you can't do. You can do your skirts. Get a nice skirt on there. Now I'd like to be able to customize the size of my rims. I couldn't work out how to here, but they're not wide enough. There's too much tire. I want more rim. Just remember back in the days of Need for Speed Underground 2 of having more rim on my wheels than actual rubber, and it was badass. Those are pretty damn cool. So they've got different styles of rims. I'm not quite sure why. They can't just put them all in the same one. Here's a couple of spoilers. You can get some right ironing boards on the go. I like something a little subtle. And your hood, of course, carbon fibre, because carbon fibre is badass. I don't think having a carbon fibre hood adds any attributes to your car. It's just one of those customization options people like to have, especially people who like cars. And it's a Mustang, so it's got to be black. The red looks too light for me, like a darker red. So this car is now tuned up to be street spec. You start off with just a factory stock car, which you can customize, and you can do anything to that car. But you do then, to compete in certain races, you have to have like a certain specification for that race, be it dirt or street or raid. So yeah, here's some of the map. This is just Detroit, the first area you start in. I hope I zoom out. Did I zoom out on this bit? I didn't zoom out. But anyway, the map is huge. It's not full scale states, but it's a big map. I tried to get my younger brother to drive the length of it last night, and he was like, I must almost be there after about half an hour. And he opened up the map, and he was nowhere near. He hadn't even left the east coast. So yeah, there's a couple of other players over there. sort of Jonathan. No idea who he is. One of the things the crew does not too well is when you're near other players, if they've got their mics activated and they're talking, it just transmits. No matter where you are on the map, you'll hear the other player, even if they're on the complete other side of the map. And it can get really annoying, and it was a real potch to figure out how to mute those people. You can do it, it's just a right pain in the ass, and hopefully Ubisoft will make that a little clearer, you know, like,
Let's see if you remember how to do this.
or just put in voice over IP, fixed, push to talk. So this is more to do with the story now. This this girl called Zoe who gets you out of prison, doing a race with her. You don't have to do the story, you can generally just load the game up and just drive around and do what you want. And you'll still level your car up because throughout the world there's random activities to do, like jump so far, slalom down a road, you know, high speed, stick to a high speed and stuff. And you win more car parts for completing those at a higher level. Another thing I forgot to mention, because it's a closed beta, a lot of people thought the map would be sort of scaled down. You wouldn't be able to explore all of it, but you can. It's completely open. You can go wherever you want. There's only missions in the east for you to do. There's nothing out in the west. But it's still cool. It's still a huge map, and it's great fun just exploring. And another point, as it's a Ubisoft game, they like their little, you know, you have to find like towers in Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs. You have to hack the CTOS. In this, you have to drive around and find like little radar dishes. You get a little notification on your mini-map, starts flashing when you're close.
I've set up an HQ. We need somewhere safe, somewhere your crew can work to support you.
Now, I'm not sure how long this game is going to stay like highly populated, because there's only so much racing you can do before it just becomes boring and annoying. Although, granted, the MMO factor does add a lot of gameplay to it, because, you know, you want to rank your car up, you want to make it faster. But it'll be interesting to see how this game does. It's cool, it's definitely worth a try. Anyway guys, thanks very much for watching. I'll leave you with this cool little cinematic from the story, and I'll see you in the next one.
That's the guy. Stay low.
Hands where I can see him!
My brother needs help! He's... What the hell are you doing, man? Help him! He's bleeding out!
Got a gun!
Well, that ain't mine!
This one's dead.